Bushiroad is going absolutely crazy right now with these new cards. If you still need a beautiful playmat, go to zerodamagegaming.com and use the code Solemn for a discount. Same story for if you want a beautiful deck box. And as always, if you still need some Vanguard cards, you can go to 50cards.shop and use the code Solemn for a discount. Links will be in the description. So as you know, History Collection has support for Premium and allegedly V as well. And so some cards have been getting errata, some very interesting cards, some very aggressive cards as well, getting all kinds of markers and so forth, trying to fix the write-down issue. And as you know, I've been a big fan of that set overall, at least so far, you know, what we know so far. Now, some people were afraid, oh my god, we are getting too much offensive pressure maybe in this set. So, we also have some Cray Elementals getting some erratas, some buffs, let's say, and it's pretty interesting. This one says, when this unit is placed on R during your turn, all your opponent's rear guards in the same column as this unit lose all abilities and cannot gain them until the end of this turn. So the only cards you might be thinking of are like the special intercept kind of cards that maybe turn into Denial Griffin, like Narukami has one. You could be thinking about HONOLY, we'll see about that. Maybe the Spike Brothers grade 2, maybe the Butterfly grade 2 from Mega Colony, because I think it says put, so it can intercept as well for that ability. Those things you're turning off. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think this card is very good. I think it requires too many things on your opponent's side before you even want to start including this, unless of course we see some broken type of interaction card coming out in the future. So right now this card might seem but in the future this might become like a staple. If there's one thing you should have learned by now when it comes to Premium, any card that is in a Premium set will probably at some point become crucial because someone figured out that it was very good for the meta. And so while they're cheap on release, a lot of them get expensive later on. When Rollock first dropped, it was a $1 card. When HONOLY came out, it was a 20-cent card. And over time, you know, some of these cards found their way into Premium. So I would still just make sure I have my Cray Elementals at all times. You always want to have your playset of Cray Elementals, even though right now I'm like, this card seems kind of booty cheeks for now. Then we have Light Elemental Peeker. This card says continuous on R. This unit cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects. Okay, some protection. And then GB1, when your Vanguard with power 11,000 or lower is attacked, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets power plus 2k. So this is basically just gonna make it so your 11ks, which all your old G grade 3s are gonna be, which you're gonna be including in your History Collection type of decks, now become 13ks as well. Also important about this though is that it now has 10k shield. All these Cray Elementals used to have 5k shield, and so it was very hard to justify running them when that shield sucked so much. Even sometimes I would be like, fuck, I want to play HONOLY, but 5k shield, multiple copies, that hurts. So this being like an upgrade for this card, cool. But again, I think right now this card isn't really worth it. However, the last Cray Elemental in these reveals, and the reason I turned on the camera, is our little cutie HONOLY. It says continues on R, all rear guards cannot attack the Vanguard for the 5th or more battle of that turn unless that player pays CB1. So this was already a skill HONOLY had. It's just basically like a floodgate type of deal where if you want to do crazy multi-attacks, you better start paying up. Now, one thing you could instantly see already is 10k shield. So HONOLY also lost the 5k shield issue. It is now going to be much more splashable into decks in my opinion. But it is the second skill, the new skill, that really changes. First of all, you no longer have the CB1 cost on it. So HONOLY, if you don't know, if you placed it, you used to have to pay a CB just for doing so, to kind of be a drawback. They were like, fuck that, we don't need a drawback for defensive cards, and I kind of agree. Like, overall, Vanguard tends to have a lot of offensive creep and very little defensive creep, so, you know, okay, taking that cost away is fine. But then we get to the actual skill. Act on R. Cost. Remove this unit from the game. And until the end of your opponent's next turn, you get, when your opponent's rearguard would attack the Vanguard for the 5th or more battle of that turn, your opponent must pay CB1, otherwise they cannot attack. This means the HONOLY battle restriction can now be a lingering effect. You're like, damn, my opponent is gonna do their crazy turn and they can remove HONOLY, because, you know, a lot of decks are like, oh, I died to HONOLY, here's a retire card I can call. You know, that is just the kind of offensive power creep that you get in a card game after a while. Now Bushiroad decided, fuck that. Even though you might have retire in your crazy multi-attack deck, that doesn't matter, because HONOLY is here to save you. And I think that's actually pretty cool. Now, some people on Twitter and so forth were already going, oh, this is like Max C. This is like Droll and Lockbird. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Not really. Max C and Droll are turn skippers, and that is not really the case here, especially because this will just make us build decks that can do impressive plays through HONOLY. You could try and argue, oh, you could do that in Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. No, you fucking can't. Please. If you have a deck that scoops to Droll, you are scooping to Droll. And if you have a deck, you are scooping to Max C. So this is very different here. And also, I might want to add, a lot of people were already crying about the new History Collection cards going, oh, we can do these crazy multi-attacks now on turn 3. No, you can't anymore with this type of card. So now, not only did those super greedy decks that some people were thinking of building in History Collection, they already had their issues because if you went second with them, they usually like blew up and died. Now you also need to consider, fuck, if I take a deck like that, not only can I go second, but my opponent might also have the HONOLY and annihilate me. So this is gonna make it to where people are gonna have to respect the fact that there is counterplay. We first saw this when heal guards were introduced, and that was just a net positive for the game. And now I feel we're just getting another step of that in HONOLY. We already kind of like fixed the issue, early sack, a little bit with heal guards, and now we're gonna somewhat fix the issue of unfair interactions, you know, like infinite multi-attack type of deals later in the game. And I really like that. Again, we don't often get defensive creep in Vanguard, and now we do. Now, is this gonna be better in some decks? Absolutely. If a deck can search this card, it's gonna have a better time. What decks are we thinking of? Of course, my Grand Blue. Of course, Luard. Of course, Mega Colony with the Cradle stuff, you know? There's gonna be decks, yes, that can in fact search the HONOLY more reliably, but I do not think that is the end of the world, because some decks are just gonna have to find their niche in being like more control-ish than others, and that's fine. And if you want to build a balls to the walls deck, now you're gonna have to consider, okay, HONOLY exists. Can I maybe incorporate counter charge into my multi-attack? Can I incorporate Vanguard attacks into my multi-attack? Like if you're a Tachikaze main and you wanted to do an insane amount of rearguard attacks, cool, but maybe you want to consider that Dogma can still do some multi in their Vanguard base that doesn't really care about HONOLY as much, and things like that. Overall, I'm very excited for it. Once again, it's gonna change deck building, and that's when I think Vanguard is at its peak, when you actually have to consider, damn, we have a lot of new cards, we have a lot of new interactions, decks are gonna be completely changed because of these new cards. That is fun to me. I'm a fan of this, and we're gonna see what other stuff History Collection brings, but this card, I'm excited. Again, also it being 10k shield, at last, HONOLY is no longer gonna feel like an awful brick. That is all. Hope you found this interesting. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you still need a beautiful playmat, go to zerodamagegaming.com and use the code Solemn for a discount. And if you still need cards, go to 50cards.shop and use the code Solemn for a discount. I will see you soon. Ciao.